This video was created to help students get off to a smooth start in computerized accounting, where we're going to be using QuickBooks Online. Experience with QuickBooks is so important because this software is used widely in our area by CPA firms and businesses, and I want you to get as much out of the class as you possibly can. Getting started in the course confuses some students, so hopefully this video will provide some guidance. The most important rule of thumb is to proceed module by module, step by step. You really don't need to skip anything. The first place you're going to start is in your welcome module. And actually read the welcome, because there is some instructions and important information in there, so make sure you read it. Always read your syllabus, because that is your contract for the course. It's important to know what is expected and the policies and the procedures for the course. The college has required that we now list the weighted categories so that students will have an easy way to see how their grade is going to be calculated. And in this class, you'll see that the comprehensive project at the end of the term is 50%. So we're going to be working on chapter assignments to learn how to do things. And then in the cases at the end of the chapter, we're going to prove that we can do them. And then at the very end of the term, you're going to be on your own working on the comprehensive project, basically covering all the items that you learned in chapters 1 through 10. So if you have any questions about how much weight each of your assignments carries, you can come and click on the weighted categories. The next item is your assignment checklist, and I've got that pulled up, and it's just step by step what you need to be doing each week. So for the first week, you should have gone through your welcome module, your textbook information, set up your first company, watch the Focus on Accuracy video, completed all the steps in chapter 1, and completed all the steps in chapter 2. The checklist pretty much mirrors all the steps in Blackboard. So everything in Blackboard is listed on that checklist. I would print it and just use it as a guide so you'll know your due dates and know everything that you need to complete for each week. You also must complete the course participation confirmation quiz, and we do this because students sometimes will sign up for classes and then maybe forget or got busy and never joined the class, and this just confirms that you know the class has started and that you will be participating, and it prevents students from getting dropped as no-shows. So it's pretty important. And then there are some little informational items for Blackboard and Respondus. The next module is the textbook tutoring and student success resources. Please look in this module, because the textbook and materials information is really important. I've had students 2 weeks into the term tell me they don't understand, and then when I refer to a page number, they'll say, oh, we need a textbook. Yes, you do need a textbook. It is a Cengage product, so if you have purchased for this term or have an existing Cengage Unlimited subscription, then you can use this ebook for free. Now, let me make clear, The Cengage Unlimited subscription is not required for this course. You don't need any kind of subscription at all, no access code. But if you do have the Cengage Unlimited, then you do have free access to the ebook. And you can even rent a physical copy of the book from Cengage for the cost of shipping. Now, if you don't have the Cengage Unlimited subscription, that's fine. You can purchase the ebook using the link provided, or you can purchase a physical book at one of our bookstores. So if you have any questions about that, be sure and let me know. All right, so after the textbook information, there some information about tutoring, and if you need the librarian, you can click here to access the library. But I suggest about tutoring, if you need some help, just set up a Teams meeting with me, and we can get over any humps and clarify, whatever is tripping you up. All right, next you're going to set up your first company. I will send you a link. Here is a video that tells you exactly how to set up your company. And here is kind of a visual of what it's going to look like. I'll send you an invitation, and you'll click on that, and you're going to set up your Wild Water Sports account. And that's all you're going to do. We're not going to enter any information at this point. You're just getting your account set up. Next is a module on accuracy, because I'm really starting to focus on that. In the past classes, if you've submitted an incorrect assignment, I've allowed you to resubmit it, but in accounting, accuracy is everything, and attention to detail. So I've got a video to help you make sure you're submitting things properly, and then I've given you a checklist for you to go down before you submit anything, because if you submit an incorrect report, or the wrong report, I'll say, then you'll get a 0. If you submit a blank report, you're going to get a 0, and you can't get rid of that 0. So you need to make sure you're submitting the correct report with the correct assignment. Make sure your report contains data. I get blank reports from time to time. Are your transactions in your report dated properly? And so we're going to be moving around with the dates. We'll be dating things in the past sometimes, things in the future sometimes. So you have to really pay close attention to the dates. Is the report dated correctly? It needs to be dated exactly as it says in Blackboard or in the textbook. Are my accounts listed in the correct order? This is a major problem. At this point, students forget which accounts are assets, which accounts are revenues, which accounts are expenses, and they don't set their accounts up correctly. So that will cause your expenses to be listed with your assets, or your assets to be listed with your expenses. Anyway, your accounts will be out of order. So you need to focus on that. Are your balances normal balances? When you pull a transaction detail, there should be only one negative balance, and that will be for accumulated depreciation. No other balance should be a negative. If it is, then you've made a mistake, and you need to go back and attempt to fix that. Did I duplicate an account? Sometimes an account will already be in the chart of accounts, and a student will make another one, and that is not acceptable. You need to, if there's already an account there, you do not need to make another one. And the solutions, the reports, are given at the end of the chapter and at the end of each case. And if your totals and your figures don't match, then there's an issue and you need to get that resolved before you submit. So you need to be very mindful when you're submitting your assignments. Next, you'll see your chapter modules, and we'll just do a quick review of Chapter 1. There's a copy of the Chapter 1 text just in case you're delayed in getting your textbook. And then in almost every module, you're going to find an accounting concept review quiz, because unfortunately, students will have forgotten the difference between an asset and a liability, how the chart of accounts should be ordered, how to classify accounts. So some of the concepts I felt like you would need for this chapter or for the chapter will be listed in this quiz, and you can just take it as many times as needed to make 100. And I just wanted it to be a refresher. And in each module, you're probably going to find some videos, your chapter quiz, and of course your discussion boards. So if you have any questions about how the course works or how to get started, don't delay. Be sure and ask me. There are no dumb questions, because sometimes I will think things are clear when they're not very clear at all. So contact me as soon as you run into an issue so that you can go ahead and get started in your course.